Hello grade 8s, this is Mrs. Smith and we are going to revise adding and subtracting integers. I'm going to show you how to use your number line and how to use integer tiles. They are both methods that help you understand rules that you might pick up as you go along. It is better to understand them than to try and learn the rules off by heart. Let's have a look at example 1. 6 plus 4, it's something that you've seen many times in primary school. So on a number line, you'd start at 6. A positive tells us to move in the right because we're adding on. And if I hop 4 times, it gives me an answer of 10. If we're using integer tiles, our 6 tells us that we need 6 positives. So I draw in 6 plus signs. And then the plus 4 says I need another 4 positive numbers because it is a positive. If you count all your pluses together, you see you have 10 positives in total, which gives us our answer of 10. Our next example is 2 plus positive 5. So even though there are 2 positives there, you're starting as a 2. You are adding on a positive number. So you're still moving to the right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, giving us an answer of 7. For your integer tiles, 2 is a positive number, so there's 2 positives, and you're adding on 5 more positives. If you look at all your tiles together, that gives me 7 positive tiles, giving us an answer of 7. Our next one is 5 minus 8. So on our number line, we start with 5. The thing that you need to remember about the negative is that it tells us to change directions on our number line. So 5 minus 8, instead of moving to the right, we are going to go to the left, and we're going to go 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, giving us an answer of negative 3. The integer tiles, I've got 5 positives, so I'll fill in 5 positives. I have 8 negatives, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negatives. And then something we remember that 1 minus 1 is just 0. So the positive and the negative will cancel each other out, giving us 0 for each of these situations that I'm circling here. Once those have all cancelled out, I am left with only 3 things left, and they're all negatives, so it's a negative 3. Going to our next example, 5 plus negative 4. So looking at 5 plus negative 4, we start at 5. It does say we're adding, but the negative 4 tells us to change directions. So we go backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, giving us an answer of 1. Using the integer tiles, I've got 5 positives and then 4 negatives. Grouping the things that will cancel out, a positive and a negative will always give us 0. You can see we now have 1 positive left, which gives us an answer of 1. Example 5. 5 minus positive 3. So we start on the number line at 5. The negative tells us to change direction. The next thing is a positive, which keeps us going in the same direction as we're currently going. So we're still going to go to the left. 1, 2, 3 spaces, giving us an answer of 2. Now, you notice that we're going to the left. So to help us with the integer tiles, you realize that a 5 minus positive 3 has moved to the left. So that is the same as writing 5 minus 3. And that helps us with the integer tiles because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives and then 3 negatives. Our positives and negatives cancel each other out, leaving us with 2 positives. Both methods giving us an answer of 2. Example 6. 4 minus negative 3. So you start on 4. The minus tells us to change direction, but then there's another one in front of the 3 telling negative 3, so we change direction again. So in this situation, we actually land up still moving forward, giving us an answer of 7. To help us with our integer tiles, those negatives make us change direction twice, giving us a 4 plus 3. So for our integer tiles, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 positives and 3 more positives. And if you count all those positives up, you see you also get an answer of 7. Example 7 is negative 2 minus negative 6. So on our number line, we start with a negative 2. The next thing tells us to subtract, so we change direction, but because it's a negative 6, we change direction again, and we go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, giving us an answer of 4. Using our integer tiles, we first take note of the fact that the two negatives change directions twice, giving us a positive answer. Sorry, let's correct that. Negative 2 plus 6. So when we're doing our integer tiles, we start off with 2 negatives, and then we put in 6 positives, and we have a look, and our positives and negatives cancel each other out, and I'm now left with 4 positives, also giving us the answer 4. Example 8 has more than one calculation, and if you can do it in one step, that is wonderful. But if you struggle, do the first bit and then the next bit. So we're going to start off with the 2 plus 7, and starting off on 2, and we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, leaving us on 9. We cannot forget about the rest of the calculation, negative plus 10. Okay, a minus positive 10. If we're looking at our integer tiles, the first part of the calculation says I've got 2 positives and then another 7 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 9 positives there in total. Now we're ready to do the rest of the calculation. And the first thing we have a look at is the negative, the minus positive 10. That minus and the plus sign right next to each other changes the direction just once. So that gives us something that looks the same as 9 minus 10. So carrying on from our number line, we just carry on from 9. The minus told us to change direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, leaving us with an answer of negative 1. Our integer tiles, we already have 9 integer tiles there. So now I've got to put in 10 negatives. And you'll notice I put the negatives next to the positives so that I can cancel them out easily. And here the positives and negatives cancel out. And that leaves us with just 1 negative left over, giving us an answer of negative 1. I hope that has helped you with adding and subtracting integers. Do the worksheet now on the Google Drive.